Hey everyone. So, yesterday was my very first time that I went live on YouTube. So now I'm a pro. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. And I wanted to go on to share some more messages from my experience, from the journeys that I've been through. We all have come to Earth School and have been through so many of our own journeys where we learn lessons that are so important for our journey, but also they're lessons that so many other people are needing to learn as well. And so I think it's so important for us to share with each other, to help each other, especially people who are going through the same things that we've been through, so that we can support them and also guide them along their journey to help them overcome whatever challenge it might be. And I'll give it a couple of minutes for people to maybe see that I'm on and hop on so that they can be live during this conversation. And while we're waiting, I'll just share a little bit about my day. So I don't know, many of you might know or might not know, I used to be a Beachbody coach years ago, and I was in like super tip-top shape. And I did all the programs and I was holding other people accountable, and I showed up every day as, leading the way. And so I was in really great shape. And then I wound up having my health challenge. Well, a couple of years after that, but I was still in great shape. I still continued to work out up until the point where I had my health challenge when I wound up being diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, which then turned into another diagnosis because it lasted. After 8 weeks, they changed the diagnosis to CIDP, and it caused me not to be able to use my legs at all, to even sometimes even stand, but I wasn't able to walk on my own. And so going from someone who was so health conscious and so physically fit to not being able to even stand was crazy. It was, really, it felt like this was something in a nightmare because this wasn't me, it wasn't my life. And so today, the reason I bring that up is because today I wound up going to a group fitness class at the Y, which we just joined. And the class was Body Pump, which is a Les Mills program that I've done before through Beachbody. And I hadn't done it in so long. And it was tough. I mean, it really whooped my butt big time. It made me realize just how out of shape I really am. So I'm going to be starting to go to the Y at least 3 times a week. I'm getting myself back in shape. So I just wanted to kind of share that while we were waiting. But since no one seems to be on right now, I'm going to have to kind of test it and see when is the best time to go live on YouTube. So, but for now, whoever comes is interested can watch the replay. But even if you're watching the replay, I would love to hear from you. Even though you weren't live with us, I'd still love to hear your thoughts and comments about the things that I'm saying. So, okay, so the message that I wanted to share today is that I believe that my health challenge happened to me because of one reason, and it was because not a leaky gut or a flu shot or any other reasons that people ask about, really because of my thoughts. I believe that my thoughts made me sick because my state of being that I was living in was one of worry and fear and lack. We were going through a time where my husband moved here and we were just starting our business and it was taking a while to grow. And, we have a very large family. And so it was very concerning, with when it comes to our financial situation. It caused me a lot of worry and lack for a while. And I was in that state, those thoughts were ever present. And then at the same time, I have adult children that I worried about. And so all of that worry is what I woke up to every day. That's who I was being. And the worry thought, thinking about, oh, what's going to happen with the business? How are we going to pay our bills? And, different things like that. Those are the thoughts that would come up for me. And that causes then the emotion of worry and stress. It causes stress in the body. Anytime you're feeling a low vibration feeling, such as worry or even jealousy or anger or resentment or guilt, anything like that, unworthy, it causes you to be living in a state of stress. It creates an emotion in the body. And when we're living in a state of stress, we're living in a survival mode, which causes our brain waves to be in beta brainwave, which means that if we stay in that for so long, it causes our body to break down. Our history is that we always needed that survival mechanism, back in the day when we needed it to protect ourselves, when there were real things to be afraid of and we needed to run or, whatever we needed to do in order to survive. But in today's day and age, most of us are still in that living in that survival mode because our thoughts create it. And so if our thoughts create stress and create illness or disease, can our thoughts also heal us and create wholeness and total health and recovery? And yes, it absolutely can. And that's why meditation is so important, because we do have a tendency in our everyday lives to be in this program. We're so used to just thinking that we are our thoughts and being focused on all the things that we have to do in our day. And we're so used to thinking about the past, thinking about the future, and not really being mindful about the present. And that's the only place that we really are connected to who we really are. So when we meditate, our whole intention is to remain in the present moment. And it doesn't have to be difficult. We discussed a little bit on yesterday's segment that meditation can be so many things for each person. There's so many different ways of doing it, and none of them are wrong. None of them are better. It's all about what works for you. And so even, when you meditate, if you feel like, oh, I got nothing out of it because I was thinking the whole time, or, I couldn't just sit myself down and just be still, I kept getting distracted. It's okay. There is no bad meditation. It's just the practice of it that's important, because the more and more you do it, the better at it you'll get, until you get to a point where you really can sit still. You can even sit still for even just a minute to start out, and then just increase it maybe by a minute each week. Just getting in the habit of just sitting still and being silent and just going within means that you are putting forth that intention to really connecting to who you really are, to your soul. And that is where the greatness lies. That's where we find the divine inside us and are able to start to become more present and start to intentionally learn how to be in the emotion that we want to create in our lives. The more we continue to just be in the program and not focus on being present, the more we're going to continue to just live the same day in and day out, doing the same things, feeling the same things, thinking the same things, and nothing will ever change. In order for anything to change in our lives, we have to change our energy. And our thoughts and our feelings is what creates our energy. So by meditating, you're taking the lasso and you're deciding that you are going to have more of a handle on what kind of energy you're going to be in that day and what you're going to create in your life. All right, I didn't want this to get too long, so I'll end it there. So if you have any questions or just want to continue this discussion, I'd love to hear from you. And if you would please like and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that as well. And this way you'll get notified whenever I go live, which I plan on doing regularly now. All right, I just want to share my wisdom with you all that I've learned from my experience of healing myself, and I just want to give to you all. All right, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you did, please comment below or like it. Thank you. Take care.